This is Nightline and I'm Liyana Hassanel, news making the headlines. Motion of confidence for PM passed with a voice vote. And 3 siblings among 4 killed in Kelantan floodwaters. Good morning. The motion of confidence for Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim's leadership was passed in the Dewan Rakyat with a voice vote on Monday. Dewan Rakyat Speaker Datuk Johari Abdul, who presided over the sitting, said after the vote that more voices have agreed, hence the motion was passed.
Ahli Muhammad yang bersetuju, kata bersetuju. Yang tidak, kata tidak. Lebih suara bersetuju. Usul disetujukan.
While tabling the motion in the Dewan Rakyat on Monday, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof said it was important for the unity government under Datuk Sri Anwar's premiership to secure the confidence of lawmakers in view of the projected economic downturn in 2023. He said the vote is expected to strengthen the confidence of investors, the business community and the people, and allow the unity government to render the best service to the people. Earlier, more than 10 debaters from both sides of the political divide had also participated in the debate of the motion.
Undi percaya ini sangat penting kalau kita tengok dari segi konteks ekonomi. Jika undi percaya ini mendapat sokongan, ia akan memberi sebuah kerajaan yang stabil untuk tempoh masa 5 tahun akan datang dan peristiwa menukar Perdana Menteri 3 kali dalam masa 4,5 tahun tidak akan berlaku lagi.
Dalam keadaan kita perlu membuat keputusan-keputusan yang begitu sukar tadi, jika ada satu kerajaan ataupun perkumpulan yang ada kemampuan untuk melaksanakan anjakan-anjakan strategi yang sukar itu dalam tempoh 5 tahun itu, satu-satunya perkumpulan yang ada itu adalah kerajaan perpaduan yang ada di sebelah ini, insya-Allah.
Kalau di sana tidak menyokong, tidak apa, kita hormat. Betul. Sudah kita bawa, tidak mau, okeylah. Tapi perkara-perkara yang baik, sokonglah kerajaan. Jangan bangkang terus.
The 15th Parliament session started with the appointment of the Speaker, and former Gurun Assemblyman Datuk Johari Abdul was elected as the new Speaker of Dewan Rakyat, replacing Tan Sri Azhar Azizan Harun. This after Datuk Johari, who was proposed by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, garnered 147 votes against the opposition's nominee, former Home Minister Tan Sri Muhammad Radzi Sheikh Ahmad, who obtained only 74 votes.
Saya berikrar akan berusaha sedaya upaya dan semampu saya untuk memenuhi amanah yang dipertanggungjawabkan ini sepenuhnya. Saya yakin segala pengalaman dan pengetahuan saya sebelum ini sebagai pegawai takbir dan diplomatik, ahli perniagaan, ahli parlimen, ahli Dewan Undangan Negeri akan turut membantu saya dalam melaksanakan tanggungjawab yang berat ini.
The motion to elect the new Speaker was made soon after the first meeting of the first session of the 15th Parliament began at 10 a.m. Cameron Highlands Member of Parliament Datuk Ramli Mat Noor and Lanang Member of Parliament Alice Lau have been elected as the new Deputy Speakers of Dewan Rakyat. Datuk Ramli and Lau, whose nomination was proposed by the Prime Minister, garnered 148 and 146 votes, respectively, against 74 votes obtained by another candidate, Datuk Mas Ermiati Samsudin, who is also former Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Parliament and Law. Datuk Sri Anwar, who is also Tambun MP, then led the 222 MPs in the Dewan Rakyat in the oath-taking ceremony at the first meeting of the first term of the 15th Parliament, which started Monday. Datuk Sri Anwar's swearing in was followed by his 2 Deputy Prime Ministers, Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi and Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof. It then continued with the lineup of cabinet ministers, deputy ministers, government MPs and opposition MPs. At the meeting, 2 Mentris Besar and the Chief Minister were also sworn in as MPs, namely Selangor Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Amiruddin Syari, Negeri Sembilan Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Aminuddin Harun and Pulau Pinang Chief Minister Chow Kon Yao. The Dewan Rakyat meeting became the focus exactly 1 month after the 15th general election GE15 was held on November 19th, which saw Datuk Seri Anwar appointed as the 10th Prime Minister and the establishment of the unity government. 4 victims were reported to be the latest casualty of the worsening floods in Kelantan in 2 incidents on Monday. 3 of them died of electrocution in front of a flooded house in Kampung Bendang Surau near Mora at about noon. Kelantan Police Chief Datuk Muhammad Zaki Harun said the victims, identified as Nur Fathiah Muhammad Nazir, Sakina Muhammad Nazir and Nurul Shazwani Muhammad Nazir, aged between 27 and 33, were believed to have been electrocuted while wading through floodwaters at about 11:30 a.m. The body of the victims were sent to the Tumpat Hospital for post-mortem. Tenaga Nasional Berhad has been informed by the authorities to cut off electricity supply to the area and to carry out further action. In another incident, a 15-month-old boy drowned after falling into floodwaters in Kampung Gual Tokdeh, Rantau Panjang. The district's fire station chief, Shapawi Stapa, said the boy was said to be playing with his elder sister at the porch of their house at about 1 p.m. when he drowned. He said the station was alerted to the incident, but villagers had found the body by the time firemen arrived at the scene. The body had been sent to the Pasir Mas Hospital for further action. In the meantime, the overall flood situation has worsened on Monday evening. More than 32,000 victims were evacuated to relief centres due to the continuous rain, particularly in the east coast states of Terengganu, Kelantan and Pahang. The number of evacuees also rose slightly in Perak, while it remained unchanged in Johor from morning. According to the Terengganu Disaster Management Committee Secretariat, the number of evacuees in the state rose to 19,601 people from 11,415 as of morning. It also said that the evacuees are being housed in 243 relief centres in 8 districts. In Kelantan, the number of victims increased to 12,104, with 95 relief centres opened in 10 districts, namely Kota Baru, Pasir Mas, Tumpat, Bachok, Tanah Merah, Pasir Puteh, Kuala Krai, Machang and Jeli. As for Pahang, a total number of victims rose to 709 people and are being housed at 9 relief centres in 2 districts. In Johor, the State Disaster Management Committee said that the number of evacuees in the Segamat district remained at 75, and all of them are being housed at 3 relief centres. Over in Perak, the number of flood evacuees rose to 54 victims in 2 relief centres compared to 49 earlier. All disaster management committees at the central, state and district levels are ready to be activated at a level of preparedness that can be upgraded to deal with the current floods and possible flooding in high-risk areas. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said relief centres were equipped with basic amenities for victims. In a statement on Monday, the DPM also said that there must be sufficient operational assets at all affected control posts. He added that victims who need emergency assistance should call the 999 line directly for further action by the authorities. Datuk Seri Zahid urged all residents at flood-prone areas to abide by the instruction of authorities to evacuate early before the situation worsens. This is in line with the warning of continuous rain at the danger level by Malaysian Meteorological Department, Met Malaysia. He also hoped that heads of households would keep tabs on the movements of family members in flood-hit areas to avoid any untoward incidents. Met Malaysia on Monday issued the warning on continuous rain at danger level, updated as at Sunday morning for Kelantan, Terengganu and Pahang, and at bad level for Perlis, Kedah, Perak and Pahang. The monsoon surge is expected to last until December 25th, and continuous rain is forecast for the east and north of Peninsular Malaysia. Rescuers have detected 5 foreign objects during the search and rescue (SAR) operation of the Father's Organic Farm campsite landslide in Gotong Jaya on Monday night. Selangor Fire and Rescue Department Assistant Operations Director Hafizah Muhammad Nur said the Department of Survey and Mapping Malaysia (JUPM) made the discovery using ground-penetrating radar (GPR) equipment in sectors A and C, which will help focus the search scope for Monday night. It was also reported that a special sweeper team has been deployed to locate the 9 remaining victims. Hafizah said the K9 units will also not be involved in nighttime searches to give them time to rest before resuming duties on Tuesday. Earlier, the effort to find the remaining victims have been stepped further with the arrival of 2 excavators of the Malaysian Armed Forces, which were specially brought to the search location on Monday. Earlier, Tan Sri Akril Sani Abdullah stressed that police personnel involved in the search and rescue (SAR) operation at the Father's Organic Farm landslide site will give their full commitment to the task at hand. The Inspector General of Police said the SAR operation had entered its 4th day, but police personnel and officers were trained emotionally and physically to overcome any challenge and situation, especially involving natural disasters. He said that quality preparation and training, as well as effective psychology, had been instilled in police personnel and officers as management knowledge. Nevertheless, the IGP said cooperation between various agencies, NGOs and SAR personnel was still very important in their effort to find the remaining victims. In the meantime, police will be calling up more individuals and survivors of the disaster to help the investigations into Friday's landslide tragedy at the Father's Organic Farm campsite, Gotong Jaya. Hulu Selangor District Police Chief Superintendent Sufian Abdullah said this may be done in a week or 2, considering the condition and trauma experienced by the survivors, who are mostly from Sekolah Jenis Kebangsaan Cina SJKC Manchung at this time.
Kita telah pun menghubungi pihak sekolah dan kita telah mengaturkan satu perjumpaan untuk dibuat rakaman percakapan. Memang itu telah pun dibuat dan ni sekarang sedang diambil tindakan.
Apa dia bila proses keterangan itu akan berlangsung? Mungkin dalam masa terdekat ke minggu ni ke macam mana?
Okey, itu yang saya katakan tadi, kita telah berhubung dengan pihak sekolah dan kita perlu memikirkan kepada keadaan mangsa sebenarnya. So dalam 2-3 hari ini kita percaya mangsa berada dalam keadaan trauma dan sebagainya, dan juga ni pihak sekolah pun kita perlu ikut dia punya prosedur dan sebagainya, dan proses itu mungkin dalam seminggu 2 ni kita boleh laksanakan. Tak ada.
On Saturday, the police had summoned 3 individuals, namely the operator of the campsite and 2 of his employees, to assist in the investigations. The case is being investigated under the Local Government Act and the Penal Code. He said the police had also identified 5 of the 7 vehicles caught in the landslide and that 2 of the owner were dead, 2 safe while the other is still missing. Dozens missing in Thailand warship capsize. News from the foreign front after this short break.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Saya Anwar bin Ibrahim.
Nightline continues with news from the foreign front. A Royal Thai Navy warship sank in severe weather early Monday, leaving 33 of its crew of 106 sailors missing in stormy seas in the Gulf of Thailand. It was understood that strong winds tilted the 76.8-meter-long corvette HDMS Sukhothai, allowing seawater to enter an exhaust pipe and subsequently shut down the ship's electrical system. The electrical shutdown caused the ship's main power systems to fail, leaving the crew unable to maneuver or pump out seawater that had entered its hull. The Sukhothai then tilted even further and later sank at 12 a.m. local time. Officials said 73 members of the crew have been rescued, adding that a search operation was underway, with 3 frigates and 2 helicopters sent to find the missing. Over in Canada, 5 people were killed in a shooting at a condominium building in the suburbs of Toronto City. It was reported that police were called to the residential building at about 7:20 p.m. local time on Sunday to reports of an active male shooter who had shot several victims. When police arrived, all of the victims were already dead, which were found in different apartments in the building. The suspect, who had allegedly acted alone, also killed after an exchange of fire with the police. Police were investigating the motive for the shooting and whether there was a connection between the victims and the male suspect, who has not been named. In the U.S., at least 36 people were injured, 11 seriously, after a Hawaiian Airlines flight from Phoenix to Honolulu was hit by severe turbulence. The incident happened shortly before the aircraft, carrying 278 passengers and 10 crew, came in to land on Sunday. It was reported that 20 people, including 3 crew members, were taken to local hospitals, with injuries ranging from lacerations, bruising, and loss of consciousness to head injuries. According to Hawaiian Airlines, there was unstable air in the area, but no warning that the particular patch of air was dangerous. It said unstable weather conditions were also reported in Hawaii recently, but that such incidents of severe turbulence were relatively uncommon. The airlines added that thorough inspection of the aircraft will be conducted before returning it to service.
ชนแรงนะครับชนแรงพอสมควรนะครับทำให้บริเวณนะครับถึงจุดจักรก็ช่วยนะครับช่วยติดต่อญาติด้วยรถบรรทุก4 ล้อเล็กตู้ทึบนะครับ
Football, the 2022 World Cup. In probably the wildest final in the tournament's 92-year history, Argentina won its third World Cup title by beating France 4-2 in a penalty shootout after a 3-all draw featuring 2 goals from the 35-year-old Messi and a hat-trick by his heir apparent France forward Kylian Mbappe. Messi had opened the scoring from the penalty spot midway through the first half after Ousmane Dembélé brought down Ángel Di María inside the area, before Di María doubled Argentina's lead at the end of a brilliant counter-attack involving 4 players in the 36th minute. But the astonishing Mbappe breathed life into the holders as he pulled one back from the penalty spot with 10 minutes to go, following a foul on Kolo Muani by Nicolas Otamendi, before equalizing in stunning fashion just 60 seconds later to force extra time. Messi then seemed to have decided the contest in Argentina's favor once and for all when he converted a rebound in the 109th minute, only for Mbappe to net from another spot kick, bringing the game level at 3-3 and forcing a shootout. The third World Cup final penalty shootout started with Messi and Mbappe both scoring, but Kingsley Coman's next kick for France was saved, and Aurélien Tchouaméni then crucially missed the target. Gonzalo Montiel rolled in the deciding penalty to give Argentina their third World Cup and prevent France becoming the first team in 60 years to retain the trophy. Messi capped a spectacular night for him as he brought home the golden ball as the player of the tournament, while Mbappe finished as the tournament's top scorer on 8 goals, 1 more than Messi. Meanwhile, in what will be the first of many celebrations and parades, Argentina's World Cup champions squad celebrated their victory on an open-top bus near Lusail Boulevard. Tens of thousands of fans, including those who traveled from Argentina, gathered around the bus to salute their heroes as they ended a 36-year wait for the trophy. In Buenos Aires, tens of thousands of fans flooded the streets of the city after the historic victory. The party started as soon as Gonzalo Montiel's penalty strike sailed past Hugo Lloris and found the back of the net, and it kept going for hours. The fans blocked off many major roads, heading downtown in a blue and white procession to join the packed crowds at the Obelisk Monument. Indeed, many in this football-obsessed South American nation have said they badly needed something to celebrate. Soaring inflation has meant hard economic times for its 47 million residents, many of whom have had to forego vacations or skip buying beef for their famed asados or barbecues. The memorable victory was also celebrated by hundreds of Argentina fans who gathered in Taman Maluri Cheras to watch the final game. Organized by Titi Wangsa Member of Parliament, Datuk Sri Johari Abdul Ghani, the big screen event saw people from all walks of life cheered in unison when Argentina emerged victorious.
Seperti mana kita tahu bahawa sukan ini boleh menyatukan semua bangsa, tak kira budaya, agama. This is the beauty of sport.
Apart from football fans, some who are not familiar with the sport also joined the crowd. 2 lucky draw sessions were also held to liven up the atmosphere. Also in Kuala Lumpur, more than 50 football enthusiasts gathered to witness Argentina's historic moment. Uniquely, not at ordinary mamak restaurants, nor open-air big-screen spots. This group rented a hotel ballroom to enjoy the World Cup final clash, which saw Argentina defeating France on penalties. The viewing party also allowed them to mingle among the football fans and celebrate the sports in a proper manner. Three Indonesians installing telecommunication cables found dead. This and more after the short break. Welcome back. The Court of Appeal has fixed June 22nd and 23rd next year to hear Datin Sri Rosmah Mansoor's appeal against her conviction and sentence over the 1.25 billion ringgit corruption case on a solar hybrid project for 369 rural schools in Sarawak. Deputy Public Prosecutor Buletin said this after the date was fixed by Deputy Registrar Nur Kamilah Aziz during case management conducted online on Monday. The next case management was set on February 3rd. The appellate court is also expected to hear Datin Sri Rosmah's appeal to recuse Kuala Lumpur High Court Judge Muhammad Zaini Mazlan from presiding over her money laundering and tax evasion case on the same dates. Datin Sri Rosmah had filed the appeal petition on October 13th, claiming that the decision of the judge was biased and not based on proper consideration. On September 1st, Muhammad Zaini found Datin Sri Rosmah guilty of 3 charges of corruption and sentenced her to 10 years in jail for each of the charges, with all 3 prison terms to run concurrently. He also fined her 970 million ringgit, which, should she fail to pay, will see her liable to a total of 30 years in jail. In Selangor, 3 Indonesian men were found dead in an underground sewerage channel used to install telecommunication cables in Cyberjaya on Monday. Selangor Fire and Rescue Department Director Datuk Nur Azam Khamis said the victims, identified as 42-year-old Jufri Adnani, aged 34, and 30-year-old Febri Putra Arsandi, were Telekom Malaysia cable installation contract workers who had passed out in the sewer hole at a depth of 5 meters while installing the cables. Datuk Nur Azam said firefighters received an emergency call at about 3:17 p.m. and the 3 victims were confirmed dead at the scene. Initial investigation found that the cause of the incident is believed to be from gas poisoning. The bodies were taken to the Serdang Hospital for post-mortem. That wraps up Nightline this time around. Let's take a look at the visuals of Argentina fans across the globe celebrating their team's World Cup triumph. With that, I'm Liyana Hassanel. Thank you for watching and stay safe, Malaysia.